guys, podcasting has become an increasingly popular medium for people to share their passions, interests, and knowledge with others. But what if you could turn your podcast into a profitable venture? With the right strategies and approach, you can monetize your podcast and earn money doing what you love. In this blog post, we will explore some tips and best practices for turning your podcast into a profitable venture. Whether you're just starting out or have been podcasting for a while, this guide will help you take your podcast to the next level and start earning money from your content. One of the most important factors in monetizing your podcast is selecting the right niche. A niche is a specific area of interest or expertise, and choosing the right one can make all the difference in attracting a loyal audience and potential sponsors or advertisers. Here are a few tips for selecting the right niche. Choose a niche you're passionate about. When you're passionate about a topic, it shows in your content, and your listeners will feel that passion too. Choose a niche that you're knowledgeable about and can speak passionately about. Pick a niche with a sizable audience. Whether it's important to choose a niche that you're passionate about, it's equally important to choose a niche with a sizable audience. Do some research to make sure there's demand for your niche and that there are other successful podcasts in that niche. Finally, try to find a unique angle or perspective that sets your podcast apart from others in your niche. This will make it easier to attract a dedicated audience and stand out to potential sponsors. Once you've selected the right niche, it's time to start building a loyal audience. A loyal audience is one that will tune into your podcast regularly and engage with your content and recommend your podcast to others. Here are a few tips for building a loyal audience. Consistency is key. One of the most important factors in building a loyal audience is consistency. Release your podcast on a regular schedule and make sure your content is of high quality and consistent with your brand and niche. Engage with your audience by encouraging them to leave comments, reviews, and feedback. Respond to comments and messages, and consider starting a community or Facebook group for your listeners. Consider cross-promoting your podcasts with other podcasts in your niche or related niches. This can help you reach a wider audience and attract new listeners. So now that you've built a loyal audience, it's time to start monetizing your podcast. There are several ways to monetize your podcast, including sponsorships, advertising, merchandise, and crowdfunding. Here are a few tips for monetizing your podcast. Sponsorships are one of the most popular ways to monetize your podcast. A sponsor is a company that pays you to promote their product or service on your podcast. To attract sponsors, you have to make sure you have a sizable and engaged audience and reach out to companies that align with your brand and niche. Advertising is similar to sponsorships, but instead of promoting a specific product or service, you're promoting a company or brand. You can sell advertising space on your podcast directly or use an advertising network such as AdvertiseCast. Merchandise is another way to monetize your podcast. Consider creating branded merchandise such as t-shirts, mugs, or stickers and selling them to your audience. This can help you build brand recognition and earn money at the same time. Crowdfunding is a way for your listeners to directly support your podcast. You can use platforms such as Patreon or Kickstarter to get up a crowdfunding campaign and offer rewards for your supporters. All right, guys, so in conclusion, monetizing your podcast is a great way to turn your passion into a profitable venture. By selecting the right niche, building a loyal audience, and monetizing your podcast through sponsorships, advertising, merchandise, or crowdfunding, you can earn money doing what you love. Remember, stay consistent, engage with your audience, and be patient. Building a profitable podcast takes time and effort, but it's worth it in the end.